Imaginary numbers are different. I is said to be the square root of -1. So I squared is when you take the square root of -1 and square it. The square root and the square are inverse operations. They cancel out. So I squared is simply -1. This is going to be important in a little bit. Let's start by taking some complex numbers and let's learn how to add them. So for example 1, how about we take 3 plus 4i and add that to 7 plus 6i. The first thing I like to do is look at the real numbers, the 3 and the 7. The operator in between is plus, so 3 plus 7 is 10. Then I look at the two imaginary numbers, 4i and 6i. I'm going to take 4i plus 6i because that's the operator and get 10i. So the answer to this addition problem is 10 plus 10i. And we're done. Now, let's look at an example where we subtract. Let's go ahead and we'll just use the same two quantities. So let's take 3 plus 4i again, but change the operator to subtraction, and we'll take 7 plus 6i again. Start with the real numbers. Look again at the 3 and the 7. It's 3 minus 7, so that will give me a -4. Now we're going to look at the two imaginary numbers, 4i and 6i. Again, remember our operator is to subtract, so we're going to get a -2i. That means that the answer to the entire problem will be -4 minus 2i. And we're done. Let's look at another type of problem. Let's take the same two quantities we've been working with, 3 plus 4i and 7 plus 6i, and this time let's multiply them. I'm going to show the traditional FOIL or rainbow method. So 3 times 7 is 21, 3 times 6i will be 18i. Now I'm going to work with the second part. 4i multiplied by 7 is 28i, and 4i times 6i will give me 24i squared. Now that I squared piece is kind of interesting. We'll get to it in a minute, but let's collect our like terms. So 21 plus, well, 18i and 28i. Let's see, that'll be 46i. Bring down the plus 24i squared, and again, I've got that weird 24i squared thing happening. Do you remember at the very beginning of this video we talked about I and I squared? We said that I squared is equivalent to -1. Well, things that are side by side means to multiply. So the 21 and the 46i will remain the same, but 24i squared is going to become 24 times -1. Well, let's do that. We get 21 plus 46i minus 24, and now we have two real numbers, the 21 and the -24, that we're going to need to combine. So 21 minus 24 gives me -3, and I still have the 46i, so we're going to get -3 plus 46i, a complex number. And now we're done. Let's do one more FOIL problem, and again I'm going to show it the rainbow way. So 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 5i gives me 15i. Now I'm going to multiply by the -4i with the 2 gives me a -8i, and -4i with the 5i is a -20i squared. Collect the like terms in the middle, so the 6 will stay the same, but now what's 15i minus 8i? It leaves a positive 7i, and I still have minus 20i squared. Again, recall, what is I squared? That's right. I showed you at the beginning of the video that I squared is really equivalent to negative 1. So what we want to do is take the negative 1 and plug it in for I squared. And remember, because they're side by side, we'll rewrite that as a multiplication. So it'll be 6 plus 7i minus 20 times negative 1. We need to do that multiplication, so it's 6 plus 7i. Now plus 20. We're going to take the two real numbers of 6 and 20, and we need to combine them, collecting like terms. 6 plus 20 is 26. So our complex number will be 26 plus 7i, and we're done.